have like the worst voice in her story. You want to know how bad it is? It is so bad that it actually makes me want to get fat on chocolate.
Hello, my darlings, and welcome to a new episode of Girls Gone Mild. Last week was pretty interesting on my end. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I will tell you in a minute, probably at the end of this podcast. But yeah, last week was shocking, but relieved. I am actually relieved that a weight has finally been lifted off my shoulders, and now I get to move on from this and live my life to the fullest. Um, Lots to talk about. Um, might be talking about what I'm gonna do for a playthrough of the Crash Insane trilogy. We're definitely gonna be talking about all the great sales at Macy's right now. That's where I currently work. And we're going to talk about what happened last week. Now, I won't go into full detail of what actually happened because not everyone needs to know my business. But I think they have a right to know what exactly I'm talking about that a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So, if you're ready, I hope we're all ready for this. But before we begin, I just want to give a big shout out. Like I said last week, we're going to start doing these shout outs, recognizing a person each week every time I do a podcast. This week's shout out goes to my good friend from California, Dash Porter. He saw the video I made a couple days ago, which I will be playing at the end of this podcast for those of you who have not seen it yet. Um, he commented on my link to the video and basically said, "Well said, mate. And let me tell you something. You matter, you always matter. When you're surrounded by people who really care and support you, those are the family members of life. Hashtag never say goodbye, mate." Dash Porter, I love you. You are my brother. Thank you for always supporting me in everything I do. I appreciate you and I respect you. And hopefully I get to do more of these audition tapes that we always do. It's always fit in my schedule perfectly well. And let's see where that takes us, man. I hope you make it big one day because you are an amazing actor and I just support you in everything you do. You better become a big Broadway star or a big movie actor. That's why I can say, hey, I know that guy. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dash Porter. I love you. All right, so now that we got the shout out of the way, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I can't wait to spend Thanksgiving with my mother and my cousin, and just the people, be surrounded by people who love me and care about me. Uh, it's been a while that we actually celebrate Thanksgiving on actual Thanksgiving. Uh, Last year was pretty tough, but I'm glad we're doing it this year. Unfortunately, I do have to work early in the morning, but I made the choice to only work for a couple hours and then go home and enjoy my Thanksgiving with my family. Um, but speaking of work, Macy's, yeah, it's that time of the year on Black Friday where most of our shit is gone. What I mean by that is, most of our Black Friday sales go for the whole month of November, and who suffers the most of sales is the home department, which I currently work at. Uh, all our air fryers, our blenders, our toasters, our waffle makers are all gone. But we're still having great sales. We're still making profits. And, it's funny because this past Monday we had a truck, and it was a small truck. You would have thought that we'd be a truck and get a lot of stuff. Of course not. And fulfillment is kicking everybody's ass. But we always do good on Black Friday sales, and I'm sure we're going to do a lot good sales, making profit, sorry, on Christmas sales as well. Um, I even bought a new comforter, a Christmas comforter, this past Monday at Macy's. I need to get back into the Christmas spirit because my father was my father was really good on Christmas. He always got me into the Christmas spirit when he was around. And when he passed away, I just stopped believing. I was not. I wouldn't say stop believing. I just was not in the spirited anymore. But now this is a new me, and this is now definitely what we all need right now, including my mother. She needs the spirits to be happy once again, Christmas spirit wise. Um, it's I always say that Christmas is not always about the presents or the gifts. It's always about the people who you spend time with, the people you love, and the people you care about. But if you're still looking to find a Christmas present for a loved one or anybody, you should come down to Macy's and try to find something. If you can't find something in the actual Macy's departments, you could also go to backstage. It's kind of like a cheap clearance sale over there. But I'm sure anyone can find stuff there if you have the money. But I hope everyone enjoys their Thanksgiving, and I hope Black Friday doesn't make everyone too crazy. Because I know there's going to be a lot of people going crazy on Black Friday, and I know everyone at work is going to be exhausted and probably at each other's throats and stressful, being stressed from everything. It's certainly taking a toll on us right now, but we make it through. We work together. We treat each other like we're a family. We get through it every year. Uh, so come on down to Macy's, get your stuff. Hurry. Buy, buy, buy. If you don't buy, then I don't know, do online shopping. I don't know what to say on that. Yep. Whew. So, Crash Bandicoot. I remember playing this game when I was a little kid. Now, granted, I remember playing the first game because my uncle had it. I don't remember completing it because it wasn't my game; it was my uncle's. But I just remember playing a couple levels, and I just remember falling in love with it. And then when we finally got our own PS1, my sister and I would play Crash Bandicoot 2 like crazy. Um, it's a childhood game of mine, and I loved it very dearly. Uh, but I haven't played it in a while, and I thought about this the other day. Now, granted, I had never played Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. Um, I have played the other one. What is it? I can't remember the game, but it was supposed to be like Crash 4. I think it was like Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it was called. I remember playing that. I just remember the loading screens loading forever and ever. Jesus, by the time it was done loading, I would have been 60. Oh well. Um, but as far as the newest one that came out, I think last year, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Personally, I wasn't a really big fan of it. I couldn't get into it because it was Crash Bandicoot, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't the same. Um, I don't know. I just wasn't really a big fan of that game, and yeah, I think it was just probably because all the new mechanics and all the new stuff they put in, it was just not working on my end. Just not my cup of tea. So, and when I thought about this the other day, since they remastered all three of the old games, Crash Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot 2, and Crash Bandicoot 3, which that game came out, I believe, 2 years ago. Uh, I thought about it. Now, granted, I have not played the remastered yet. I just got, I just ordered the game this past Monday, and I thought about it, like, you know what? I actually want to do a play through of this. Now, I know many YouTubers have done this on YouTube before, but it's like, why not me? I'm sure I'm not going to get a lot of views, but I'm sure many of you fans would love to watch me play and watch me be a jackass. Yeah. Um, but how it's going to work is, yes, I'm going to record myself, and yes, I'm going to record my gameplay. Um, Granted, I am not going to play Crash Bandicoot, the first one. I will play Crash Bandicoot 2, since that's that's basically the first game I completed out of the series. And then, if you guys love it so much, excuse me, I burped. If you guys love it so much, then I will play Crash Bandicoot 3, since I haven't played that one yet. Um, the graphics of the remaster looks great, and I can't wait to play it for you guys and have fun with it. I wish that I could have my sister be a part of this, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen anytime soon. And there are reasons why that's not going to happen anytime soon. But I'm excited, and I think you guys will be excited too. And I hope this is something that my fans will enjoy. And I don't know if I want to do a full completion of the game or just collect some stuff in order to get through the end of the game. Um, I guess we'll see how it plays out, and we'll see how badly I play. Who knows? Maybe this will be on This Is How You Don't Play a certain game. Maybe someone make a Let's Endure, and maybe I'll become famous on being a bad gamer. I don't know. But I want to test this out and see how this goes. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, I don't know. It's gonna be in your hands and in mine. But I thought this would be a new way to interact with my fans and not only showing that I'm just a pretty face, that I can do other stuff too. But I'm excited, and I think this is gonna be a great way to start off the end of the year. Um, Now, when I'm gonna start doing this, I don't know. Maybe we'll start at the beginning of December. Maybe we'll start after Thanksgiving. We'll see how that goes and see when I have the time on my hands. But I'm excited to do this. And I keep saying that word. I don't know how many times I said that. I've lost count. So let's go, dude. Let's get this playthrough on. Yeah. I'm probably gonna suck, but hopefully I'll get better with practice. Oh god. I'm already gonna see all the videos that are gonna be made of me sucking. Woo! But I'm excited. I gotta stop saying that. Now, for those of you who do not know, I have a tendency to explain myself in the end, which I don't have to, because, and I'm trying to stop doing that, by the way, because I realize a long time ago that not everyone's going to appreciate what you do for a living. Not everyone's going to like what you do behind closed doors. Not everyone's going to agree what you put on social media. Unfortunately, we live in a world like that. And it's hard because you're trying not to hurt anybody, but someone's feelings are going to get hurt, especially if they're family members. But this whole situation that I was put in last week has gone too far. And because of that, it is now me being exiled in a way from my own family. Not from my mother's, but from my dad's side of the family. And the thing is, my dad passed away 2017 in March. And he was kind of like the glue that was holding us together. And then after he finally was gone, that glue became unglued. And we fell apart. But it was mostly given leeway to some family members to dislike me even more. And fortunately, I will not go into detail as to why this has come to it, and this is why this is happening. But it's kind of relief for me, and it's kind of a weight off my shoulders type situation. And I feel like this was a long time coming, and I'm taking this pretty well. But I will say bits and pieces of what happened, and this is just, like I said, this is a relief that this is happening, and it's a long time coming. Now, granted, I love my family very much, both sides, but you can only love someone so much if they don't return it back to you. So, for those of you who don't know, my grandfather passed away last month, October 28th, 3 days before his birthday. Um, Now, granted, he wasn't doing well, he wasn't taking care of himself, and finally, his heart just gave up. We believe he had a heart attack. Um, it was shocking because you didn't think, well, no one expects this. When it comes to death, no one expects death to happen anytime soon for anyone. Um, but but I wanted to mention him on his actual birthday, which was November 1st. And I made a post honoring him by showing a picture of what you see right now: my dad, my grandfather, me, and my nephew Dexter. And I was being completely honest. Being completely honest, I don't think I believe I don't think I said anything bad in the post I made. Granted, the only thing I said, and this was coming out of my own mouth, being honest, saying that my grandfather and I didn't have a good relationship, like my father and I did. But I did love him for who he was. In fact, if you watched episode 7 of this podcast, I dedicated the whole episode to him. And I even talked about him last week's episode. Um, if anyone wants to know a good memory I have of him, it was not only about Caddyshack, which was their favorite comedy movie of all time. Him, my grandfather's, and my dad's. Um, but I remember when I was a little kid, I always watched his favorite show, one of his favorite shows, to be in fact, and that was MASH. Him and I would watch a couple episodes together when I was little, and we would always laugh at the jokes, and it was a good show. Um, I believe that's one of the few I have of good memories with him. I don't really have any good memories as I got older, but I'm just being completely honest here. I still loved him for who he was. Um, it's just amazing how one family member dies, everything goes into chaos. Of course, some within the family didn't like it, that I posted that, and That's sad. But I didn't fight back because they're grieving in their own way. I'm grieving my own way. And unfortunately, with the funeral arrangements, I didn't know if I could make that work. Granted, I didn't even know if my mother can make it work. Um, but when we finally did and come to an arrangement that we can get out there, which the funeral is December 9th, by the way. But if we made arrangements to make it out there and make it work, and of course, we already bought up our tickets and we were already set and ready to go. Then I made a post on Facebook saying how grateful I am for my mother for giving me the strength to go out there. And I love my mother very much. And I would stay by her side till the end. And because I know she would do the same thing with me. Um, but I was being completely honest in that post too. That I was grateful for her for giving me the strength to not go by myself. And my grandfather meant so much to her that I would help her say her goodbyes. She would help me say my goodbyes, and we would do that together. Um, Unfortunately, some of my family members took offense to that as well. And it was at that point where I had enough. I was done. I was done with the verbal abuse. I just couldn't take it anymore. If they're not going to give me the same love that I give them, then why even try anymore? I mean, I could say on this podcast all the stuff that they have said to me and go into detail what happened when I was out there for my father's funeral, but I'm not going to do that because this is a place where we're all supposed to be safe. This is a place where we're all supposed to encourage everybody, to support everybody that we come in contact with. And it sucks that I don't get that support from those certain people in the family. I love everybody all the same. Whether you're my friend or a family member, I love you all the same. But if you're not going to treat me as an adult and support me in what I do, then why even try? Granted, I am hurt, but I am surprised I'm taking this well because, like I said, this was a long time coming. Um, and I have to move on from this. But unfortunately, karma will come back. Karma will come to them. And like one of my mother's friends said, they will have to answer to God one day. But of course, I will not let this go. And I will say this because of my honesty and because of what I post on Facebook, I am no longer welcome to go to my grandfather's funeral, which is sad. But I'm not going to deal with the drama. Neither will my mother. And so I'm not going to go back to California for the funeral. Um, what I'm going to do is remember my grandfather in my own way when they have the funeral. And we'll do something out here. And I welcome you all my fans, all my friends, to help me remember my grandfather and help me remember him for who he was. And the day of his funeral out there will be the day I do something special for him. And I will do something special for him because, like I said, Even though him and I didn't have a good relationship, I still love him for who he was, and I still will honor him in the end. So, join me on December 9th. I may do something live. I may do something, I may record it. I may post it on YouTube later that day. But I will do something in honor for him because I feel like that's the way it should be. So please, you're more welcome to join me. Let's do something special for my grandfather. I love you, Grandpa. And I love you, Dad. And I don't know how you would feel about this whole situation that's going on right now, but just know I love you both with all my heart. I try not to get emotional here, but it is what it is. But I'm happy. I just wish you guys could experience my happiness and see me now. I love you both. So I thought to end this podcast, thought I would share a little video I made a couple days ago. Now, granted, the video is on YouTube by itself, but I figured if people haven't seen it, if you are listening to this podcast right now, I would want to play it again on here. And I thought that would be a good way to end the podcast because I not only made the video for myself, but I also made it to encourage others to not take the verbal abuse anymore. So enjoy yourself, enjoy your Wednesday evening, enjoy the video. I love you all, and maybe I will see you all next week if I could think of stuff to talk about. Have a good night. I love you. Stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving, and don't get yourselves killed on Black Friday, please. And go shop at Macy's. Hurry.
Enough. You shouldn't have to be dealing with this anymore. You even said yourself, you knew this was coming, but you didn't think this would happen soon. They're just who they are. There's nothing you could do to change them. Because in their mind, they're always going to believe they did nothing wrong. When they are wrong. You did nothing wrong. You are free to say whatever you want to say. You are free to be grateful for the people you love and care about. That does not give them the right to tell you how to feel. Your grandfather's gone. He's up in heaven with your father. And I don't know how they would feel about this whole situation. 28 years. You put up with the family for 28 years. Bending over backwards to please them. Doing whatever to please them. But they always criticize you for whatever you do. Whether you're an actor, whether you get good grades, or whether you become a drag queen. They're never going to appreciate for who you are. You have done everything in your power to keep in touch with them. But what good is that gonna do if they don't even do the same thing? You are a good person. Know that. Don't ever forget that. You are people who love you no matter what, and know that you are a good person. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel sad. But know that good things are coming towards you. And you have a bright future ahead of you. Live. Live it out. Don't ever change who you are. Be happy and be grateful for who you are. Because many people out there are. They love you. They're grateful. It's okay to move on from this. It's okay to let go. Now wake up.